Today I'm reading Mog and Bunny, a story written by Judith Kerr. You have probably heard of Mog before. There are loads of different books written about Mog and all the adventures that she gets up to. Whilst I'm reading, I want you to think about who. Who is in the story? These are called the characters, and every book has characters in it. Listen to the story and look at the pictures to work out who the characters are in this book, and we'll have a little quiz at the end of the video. This is the cover of the book. What a cute cuddly cat Mog is. And she's got a little pink bunny in her mouth. She's looking very happy indeed. I think we know from the title and from this picture that the book is about Mog and her little bunny. But let's have a look at the blurb to find out a bit more. One day, Mog got a present. The present was Bunny, who soon became Mog's best thing. So when Bunny went missing, Mog went missing too. Oh no! Mog's bunny goes missing, and then Mog goes missing too. I really hope they are found, and that there's a happy ending. We better read the story to find out. One day, Mog got a present. Here you are, Mog, said Nicky. This is for you. It's called Bunny. Mog liked Bunny. She carried him about. She played with him and played with him and played and played and played with him. He was her best thing. When Mog came to have supper, Bunny came too. Sometimes Mog thought Bunny would like a drink. But Bunny wasn't very good at drinking. Oh dear, said Debbie. Look where Bunny's got to. And she put him on the radiator to dry. That night, Bunny slept with Mog in her basket. During the day, when Mog was busy, she always put Bunny somewhere nice. You never knew where Bunny would get to. Sometimes Bunny liked to be quiet and cosy. And sometimes he liked to be where there was a lot going on. Mr. and Mrs. Thomas didn't understand this. They didn't say, look where Bunny's got to. They shouted, yuck! They yelled, ah, what a horrible dirty thing! And they threatened to throw Bunny away in the dustbin. One day, Mr. Thomas said, let's have supper in the garden. Everyone helped to carry things out of the house. It was a lovely supper, but suddenly there was a crash of thunder and it poured with rain. Quick, inside! Shouted Mrs. Thomas. It's bedtime anyway. Where's Mog? Said Debbie. I expect she's keeping dry under a bush, said Mrs. Thomas. She'll come in later. In the middle of the night, Debbie and Nicky woke up. Mog hadn't come in, and it was still pouring with rain. Let's go and find her, said Debbie. It was very dark in the garden. They shouted, Mog! Where are you, Mog? But nothing happened. Then they heard a meow. There she is, shouted Nicky. Come on, Mog, come inside. But Mog just went on sitting in the rain. It was dripping off her nose. What's the matter, Mog? Said Debbie. Then she said, oh dear, look where Bunny's got to. Nicky picked Bunny up and showed him to Mog. It's all right, Mog, he said. We've set Bunny free. You can come inside now. Then they carried Bunny through the dark garden and through the house, and they put him on the radiator to dry. Then they all had a big sleep. In the morning they told Mrs. Thomas what had happened, and how Mog had stayed with Bunny in the dark and the rain. Debbie said, "You won't really throw Bunny away in the dustbin, will you?" Mrs. Thomas said, "No, never. It would make Mog too sad." Then she sighed and said, "Perhaps Bunny is not quite so horrible now he's been washed by the rain." They all looked on the radiator. But this is where Bunny had got to. The end. Well, I'm so glad there was a nice happy ending to that story. Did you enjoy it? Have you ever lost something special? I lose things all the time, but usually they turn up just where I least expect them to be. At the start of the story, I asked you to look out for the characters in the story, to work out who was in the story. Well, how many did you find? I found 6. I'll tell you who they are. Mog was the first character. Then her lovely little bunny. Then there was Nicky and Debbie and their mom, Mrs. Thomas, and their dad, Mr. Thomas. Was that 6 characters? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good job. Bunny was Mog's very best thing. What are your favourite things?